Shri Dr. T. Sumati.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, sir. I would like to ask the Minister through you, sir, regarding the Amrit Bharat station scheme. The Ministry has announced 1,324 stations which have been identified for the redevelopment, including 77 stations in the state of Tamil Nadu. I would like to ask the Honorable Minister, what has been the update with respect to these railway stations in our state? Especially, I have given representation to my constituency, the Saidapet station, as well as the redevelopment works of Chennai Egmore. Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, sir, this supplementary is actually not related to the main question, but still I would like to point out that Honorable Prime Minister has really focused on transformation of Indian Railways, and part of that, one of the major programs that we have taken up is redevelopment of 1,300 railway stations. And at this point of time, Honorable Speaker, sir, this is the world's largest railway station redevelopment program, and nowhere in the world has anybody taken up redevelopment of such a large number of stations in a network which is continuously operating. The Chennai Egmore, I would like to pronounce it as Chennai Alambur. So Chennai Alambur station is one of the Amrit Bharat stations, and it is developing very well. I've visited that twice, and the design and the enthusiasm of the officers working on that project is really amazing. And Honorable Speaker, sir, I can say that will be one of the stations which will become a prime attraction in the city of Chennai. Regarding other stations, Honorable MP can always can meet me and discuss the details.
Dr. Kadiam Kave.
Question number 222, sir. Will the Minister of Railways be pleased?
Bus, please. First number 222.
Answer is laid on the table of the office.
Honorable member, please. Question, ask question.
Sir, it is about the integrated coach factory, sir. Over the decades, there is a demand and agitation for the establishment of integrated coach factory at Kazipet. This was also assured in AP Reorganization Act 2014. However, a letter from the ministry now mentions plans to develop a railway manufacturing unit at Kazipet. Hence, I request the Honorable Railway Minister to give a clarity on whether an integrated coach factory will be established at Kazipet or not. And the second one, realignment of railway bypass lines. The Government of India has proposed 2 railway bypass lines on either side of Warangal city in Telangana. The 2 bypass lines, one from Nashkal to Hasanparti and another from Nashkal to Chintalpalli, are dividing the Warangal city in a triangular manner, passing through valuable agricultural lands and residential zones, geoparadising the city's planned expansion and affecting overall growth of the city. It also affects the Mamnoor airport area, from where the Government of India has approved recently for operation of domestic flights. Will the Honorable Minister of Railways be pleased to inform the action taken to re-examine the proposals of bypass lines which are trisecting the Warangal city and hampering overall development of the city? The formation of new railway division at Kazipet. Sir.
The Speaker, sir.
अब supplementary दे देंगे आपको.
This is
Supplementary.
No main question. Honorable Speaker, sir.
One supplementary allow.
Honorable Speaker, sir. क्वेश्चन वैसे तो स्टेशन से रिलेटेड है. माननीय सांसद जी ने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है सप्लीमेंट्री, वो काजीपेट में जो बन रही है रेलवे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट उसका है और 2 बाईपास लाइंस का है. आई वुड स्टिल लाइक टू एड्रेस इट. काजीपेट में जो रेलवे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट बन रहा है माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, वो एपी रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक्ट के तहत जो एक प्रॉमिस की थी भारत सरकार ने, उसके तहत बन रहा है. और आज रेलवे में एक फ्लेक्सिबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट लाने की कोशिश की जा रही है, क्योंकि केवल कोच बनाए या केवल इंजन बनाए वो एक पुरानी पद्धति थी. आज जिस तरह से टेक्नोलॉजी और खासकर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टेक्नोलॉजी जैसे इवॉल्व हो रही है, उसमें एक फ्लेक्सिबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की कॉन्सेप्ट लाया गया है. इसीलिए काजीपेट को रेल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट के हिसाब से डेवलप किया जा रहा है. काम बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है इसमें. काजीपेट के इस यूनिट में RVNL उसके कंस्ट्रक्शन का कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है और काम काफ़ी अच्छी तेज़ी से चल रहा है. साथ ही साथ जो दोनों बाईपास लाइंस के बारे में माननीय सांसद जी ने कहा है, माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, जितने बड़े शहर हैं उसमें रेलवे का एक मास्टर प्लान बन के आने वाले 20, 25, 50 वर्षों के लिए कैसे मूवमेंट होना चाहिए, किस तरह से फ्लो होना चाहिए ट्रैफिक का, उस विचार के साथ देश में जितने भी बड़े शहर हैं उन सब के लिए एक मास्टर प्लान तैयार हो रहा है। बाईपास लाइन उसी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है। फिर भी माननीय सांसद जी को अगर कोई उसमें कोई पॉइंट है जो ध्यान में लाना चाहते हैं, वो खासकर जो ये कह रहे थे कि किसानों की ज़मीन का, तो ज़रूर आए और उसमें उनकी डिटेल्स शेयर करें, उस पर उसको एड्रेस करेंगे।
और मेंबर सप्लीमेंट्री।
Sir, formation of new railway division at Kazipet. The Government of India have decided to form a new railway zone with Visakhapatnam as zonal headquarters and forming Raigad division. With the new zone coming up there, is every justification for forming another division on South Central Railways, because Vijayawada, Guntur and Guntakal divisions, which are now on South Central Railways, will be merged into the new Visakhapatnam zone, leaving only Secunderabad, Hyderabad and Nanded divisions for SC Railway. Sir, I would like to know the steps taken for formation of the new division as Kazipet headquarters, which is contributing majorly for the earnings to railways. And the second question, increasing the number of platforms at Kazipet railway station. Presently, there are only 3 platforms existing in Kazipet railway station. Daily around 60 passenger trains and 15 to 20 goods trains are passing through the station. This is located on Secunderabad Balarsha, Balarsha Vijayawada and Secunderabad Vijayawada routes. 3 directional trains are passing through this Kazipet railway station due to lack of sufficient platforms. Passenger trains are being stopped at outer stations, which is resulting in inconvenience to the passengers and causing delay in train timings.
Okay, honorable member, please short me.
Honorable Speaker, sir, honorable member has raised the issue of development of Kazipet railway station. I would like to inform the honorable member, and I'm sure she also knows about it, that Kazipet railway station is being developed as it's being totally reconstructed and being developed as part of the Amrit Bharat railway stations. In fact, in Telangana, 40 stations are being developed as Amrit Bharat stations, and very large amount of investment is being done in these stations. Kazipet is one of those stations. Regarding new division at Kazipet, Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to mention that the way fund allocation has increased. See, earlier the demands used to come primarily because of the lack of funds in a particular area, but that has now changed. Today, Telangana is getting a record allocation of this year, Honorable Speaker, sir. It has got 5,336 crore rupees. Now, if we compare with the allocation during the UPA period between Andhra and Telangana, the combined allocation used to be 886 crore only. So the allocations today are record allocations. So creating a division just for the sake of asking more funds is not required.
Waiting for the mic. Is it working?
Working.
Sir, so the METI AI experts say that almost 97 million new AI jobs are projected to be created by 2025, and 85 million jobs are projected to be replacing the conventional jobs. The economic survey also talks about 78.5 lakh non-farm jobs need to be created till 2030. However, Future Skills Prime has only 3.37 lakh candidates having completed their courses when you had a target of 18.56. At this rate, how does the government strategize to match the quantum of fulfilling the future need of these jobs?
Honorable Speaker, sir, Honorable member has raised questions basically about the entire AI landscape which is emerging. I would like to give a little bit of background to this question, sir. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji believes in democratizing technology. We have seen how some of the Congress leaders used to treat technology. They used to feel that technology cannot be used by the poor people. But in our case, Honorable Prime Minister has got the technology right into the hands of the poorest of the poor. And same is the case with the AI mission. So a very comprehensive India AI mission has been started, Honorable Speaker Sir, which has 7 pillars, and all these 7 pillars are very well thought through. The first pillar is creating AI compute facility. Second pillar is creating a skill framework. Third is to create startup financing. Fourth pillar is creating an innovation center. Fifth is about data sets platform, and the seventh platform is about creating new applications. And the last platform is about having a safe and trusted AI. The Honorable MP has raised the question, how many people have got enrolled in the future skills. As on today, 8.6 lakh people candidates have enrolled in AI in the future skills platform. And this is again a platform which has been created in collaboration with the industry. So the training which is given is very relevant to what the industry today needs.
No, I think you're missing the question, because प्रश्न यही है कि 9.5 करोड़ 8.5 करोड़ की बात कर रहे हैं और आप 3 लाख ही साल का ट्रेन कर पाए हैं, तो वही है कि is it not sufficient, and therefore what is your plan? Anyway, that's the question, please. Or thank you for running the house run today, because yesterday also question asked, we were trying to run and clearly BJP was disrupting yesterday. But 27 डेटा लैब जो आप बनाए हैं,
क्वेश्चन पूछिए
सर. हाँ, वही 27 डेटा लैब का पूछ रहे हैं सर, कि जो डेटा लैब आप बना रहे हैं, कि ये आपका क्या प्रावधान है कि सांगली जैसे छोटे शहरों में भी यू विल ब्रिंग इन दिस डेटा लैब्स एंड मे बी बेनिफिट, क्योंकि आज किसानों को भी एआई की जरूरत है, उनको स्किलिंग करने की जरूरत है, खेती के लिए हो, अपने मार्केट्स के लिए हो, बाजार के लिए हो, उनको भी स्किल करने का कोई आपका प्रयोजन है, और है तो कब से?
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, ये मैं एक बार फिर दोहराना चाहूँगा कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हमेशा टेक्नोलॉजी को डेमोक्रेटाइज करने का मिशन हाथ में लिया है, और इसीलिए जो एआई डेटा लैब्स बन रही है, ये भी टियर 2 और टियर 3 सिटीज़ में बन रही है. अगर आप देखो, उत्तर प्रदेश के गोरखपुर, लखनऊ, शिमला, औरंगाबाद, फिर महाराष्ट्र में औरंगाबाद, बिहार में पटना, बक्सर, मुजफ्फरपुर, एक तरीके से पूरी लिस्ट पूरे आंसर में आपको दी गई है. अध्यक्ष जी, सदन के पटल पर भी रखी गई है. कोशिश ये है कि देश के टियर 2 और टियर 3 सिटीज़ में स्टार्टअप्स हो, एआई लैब्स हो, 5G लैब्स हो, सेमीकंडक्टर की ट्रेनिंग की फैसिलिटीज़ हो, वो सारे के सारे एक कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड वे में नहीं रह के देश भर में फैले.
एडवोकेट अधूर प्रकाश.
Sir, India has ranked among the top 4 countries, along with US, China, and the UK, in the AI ranking, with a 24% share of global. Sir, as per another ranking mentioned in the answer, we are at the top with the global share of 24% of all projects. It shows India has huge potential to explore the essential of AI. Sir, various sectors in our country is witnessing fast adoption of artificial intelligence technologies. Artificial intelligence has the potential to address many critical challenges, but at the same time it raises some serious concerns, including data privacy, ethical usage, etc. Sir, my question, there is no legal framework to govern the usage of artificial intelligence. Whether the government is planning legislation for regulating the use of artificial intelligence in the country.
Honorable Speaker, sir, yes, it is a major challenge that societies across the world are facing, because the way the accountability of social media, accountability in case of using fake news, in case of developing fake narratives, all those accountabilities have to be really established in the society, and the legal framework has to change, and a lot of consensus is required to be created around this, because these are issues where the freedom of speech comes on the one hand, and the accountability and having a proper real news network getting created on the other hand. So these are things which are basically which need to be debated, and if the House agrees and if there is a consensus in the entire society, we can come up with a new law. We are open to that idea. On the point of privacy, I would like to share with you, Honorable Speaker, sir, that we have created 8 projects for developing tools, for developing technologies within our country, so that the emerging landscape of AI can be dealt with the tools and technologies that are available and developed within the country. The list of the projects is given in the answer, and it is laid on the table of the House. So I don't want to repeat that, sir.
Shri Anup Dotre.
Sir, I would like to add, what initiative government has undertaken to promote responsible AI development and development in key sectors like health, finance, education, and how their effectiveness will be monitored and evaluated?
माननीय स्पीकर सर, ये बात सही है कि एआई का जो सबसे अधिक उपयोग होने वाला है ऐसे सेक्टर्स में होने वाला है जिससे कि जन जन के जीवन पे उसका अच्छा प्रभाव भी पड़ सके। एग्रीकल्चर में, एजुकेशन में, हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर में, लॉजिस्टिक्स के सेक्टर में, फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर में, इन सब में एआई की एप्लीकेशंस जो देश के काम में आए, देश की ज़रूरतों के अनुसार हो, उसको डेवलप करने के लिए जो एआई मिशन के 7 पिलर्स हैं, उसमें से एक बड़ा पिलर है एप्लीकेशन डेवलपमेंट। और रिस्पॉन्सिबल यूज़ ऑफ एआई के लिए 8 प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाए गए हैं, जिसमें आईआईटी जोधपुर, आईआईटी रुड़की, एनआईटी रायपुर, पुणे, आईआईटी दिल्ली, IIIT दिल्ली और इस तरह से बड़े अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशंस के अंदर मिलके 8 ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाए गए हैं जिन प्रोजेक्ट से टूल्स डेवलप हो जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल एआई के लिए काम आए। और एआई में बहुत सारे एथिकल इश्यूज भी है माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, उन एथिकल इश्यूज को भी एड्रेस करना ज़रूरी है। और ये एक इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी है, इसलिए दुनिया भर में इस पर डिबेट भी है। मैं आपके माध्यम से माननीय अध्यक्ष जी इस महान सदन को ये भी बताना चाहूँगा कि भारत एआई के जो ग्लोबल विचार करने वाले देश हैं उनमें वन ऑफ द लीडिंग कंट्रीज़ हैं। और जो जीपे ग्लोबल पार्टनरशिप ऑन एआई उसके चेयर भी लास्ट ईयर भारत था, समिट भारत में हुआ। और आज भी जो OECD वगैरह सभी देशों के साथ, UN के साथ जितना भी डिस्कशन है उसमें भारत की बात को सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दी जाती है।
श्री प्रसून बनर्जी।
थैंक यू। अब हमको बोलने टाइम दिया कुछ सर लोग है। सर हमारा एक बात है, बहुत टीम से बोल रहा 7 ईयर्स खाली हम बोलते हैं जो हम बंगाल में हैं, हम MP हैं सर, आप लोग है पास में। तो हमारा एक ही चीज़ है कि हम लोग का इतना ख़राब हो रहा रेल का लिए, उधर में कोई बंद कर देते तो 1 घंटा 2 घंटा 4 घंटा सर चलते हैं। हम उधर में सर के बोलते हैं, मिनिस्टर सर है अच्छे हैं, उनको हम बोले हैं जे हमको वो एक चीज़ हम चाहते हैं अंडरपास
नहीं, रेलवे का मामला नहीं है।
हाँ,
ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का मामला है। अच्छा
हाँ सर, थैंक यू।
क्वेश्चन नंबर 222 222